This program is designed to provide general information with regards to the subject matters covered. This information is given with the understanding that neither the hosts, guests, sponsors, or station are engaged in rendering any specific and personal, medical, financial, legal, counseling, professional service, or any advice. You should seek the services of competent professionals before applying or trying any suggested ideas.
Hey there, it's Brian Sebastian, TV Reviews and More, live on Popcorn Media, Paper HD Radio, and I'm not going to say a lot around the world, but hey, streaming on all platforms around the world. I-4247 out of Franklin, Tennessee, WomenOnTV.tv, and Worldwide TV Network. So what I'm going to do from this, I'm going to have everybody introduce themselves, because this is a special show. Let's start off with women first. Bianca, tell us who you are and where you're coming from.
Hi guys, I'm Vianka and I'm coming from Miami, South Beach.
Terri Nonstop, go for it.
Hi everybody, welcome to the last show of, I guess we're going into April, the last show of March. We just got back from Oscars weekend. We had a great time. Me and Brian doing red carpet stuff again. As everybody knows, I'm Terri Marie Nonstop and ready to rock and roll.
Roberts from Houston, Texas.
Hello. Hello. Rachel Roberts from Houston, Texas. I'm a home chef. You can find me on Rachel Roberts Recipes on all the social media places. And I cook great meals and I shoot videos and do a little radio and podcast co-hosting with Brian for movies, reviews, and more.
So Nichlos, Moonbike Motors, go for it.
Hey, I'm Nicolas. I'm founder and CEO of Moonbikes. I'm from, today I'm in Boulder, Colorado. And Moonbikes is the first electric snow bikes. And I come from France, as you can hear.
And the contestants from the Courtship, NBC. All right, so Dan, tell us who you are.
Hi, my name is Dan Hunter. You might recognize me from the Courtship, where I go by Mr. Hunter, and I am one of several suitors searching for love. I'm here based in Los Angeles, California.
And Lincoln, go for it.
Right on, guys. I'm Lincoln Chapman. You may know me as Mr. Chapman from the Courtship, a fellow suitor, as well as Dan. And I think you mentioned Franklin, Tennessee. I'm in Franklin, Tennessee right now at my buddy's house, so I don't know what the connection is there with the broadcast, but you mentioned it, and that's very ironic.
Yeah, we do a show broadcasted out of Franklin, Tennessee, and that's where we're going to be going for the Women's Film Festival here in May.
Okay,
Swift.
that's partially home for me. I mean, that's where I'm sitting right now, so that's really cool to hear. Yeah.
Yep.
So
Excited.
What we'll do is we'll have you come down to see our panel if you're available.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, we're going to have our whole team for Movies Review and More at Swift this year. So it's going to be amazing. Brian and I did the panel. Was it 2019? I don't know. Everything's going to be blur right now. But and we had an amazing time. So this will be the second time that we'll be doing this panel. I love Tennessee. I can't wait to go out, see some bands and stuff now that this COVID stuff is kind of ending. Yeah. I kind of feel like we're back to reality. As I was saying before, Brian and I got to go to an Oscar party in Beverly Hills this weekend, and that was a viewing party. It was really fun because it's been a long time since I've been able to do anything on the red carpet. So I feel like things are getting back to normal.
So exciting!
Awesome.
Yeah.
So Vianka, let's go to Miami first. Tell us who you are, what's going on, because I saw you on social media and you are fascinating to me. I love your look, and I said, we got to have this girl on.
Oh. Hi guys. So my social handling is the real Vianka Chung. I do modeling. I do also private corporate events, and I also train a few celebrity clients as well. So
when you say
that's
training,
me.
like
Personal training. Yes, yeah. Fitness.
Okay.
Fitness
Yeah,
classes. Yes.
Yeah, I don't know if you know if you've known this, but I'm actually a fitness competitor. I compete in NBC.
Oh.
So yeah.
So you know the
Yeah.
training that's involved.
Yeah, I know the training. I've my first show was Muscle Beach in 2014, and I won overall bikini. Actually, I got first place in my class, and then overall I won first place. And so I've done Fitness Universe, all of them. I took a couple years off because I really didn't want to compete in a mask and all that kind of stuff, and it was kind of hard.
And it's a lot of hard work.
Yeah,
and it's a lot of hard work. Did you?
Yeah, so I'm still training. I'm training again with my old trainer. So I should be getting back on stage here in about 4 months. I got I got work to do, but I'm gonna get back on stage. So
how long does it take you?
Good luck with that.
How long does it take you to get to your training? Do you do 6 weeks out or 12 weeks out?
I usually do about like 3 weeks is enough for me to kind of just to get where I need to be in on stage. Because I basically I eat clean all year long and I work out. It's just toning in my diet. And COVID, just because it kind of got depressing, it was a little bit easier not to kind of fall off the wagon. So, but I'm getting back into my meal prep and doing all that discipline stuff again. So
a lot of it is discipline.
People don't realize how much planning and it's a science project when you get on stage.
Oh my gosh, yeah. It's all about the numbers. You got to know the right portions, the right protein, carbohydrates, timing of your food, your training. It's another level.
Yeah.
So
when to eat the Snickers bar like an hour before, right?
Yes, and when to plan for your cheat meal, or I like to call it your treat meal.
Exactly.
And this is what we're going to Chef Rachel Roberts, and then we're going to go into the guys on how everything's connected. Healthy eating, fitness, and what you do looking good, and with Nichlos is Moonbikes having fun. All right, Rachel.
Okay. So every time we do these shows, I always pull something out, and I cook clean. I also eat clean, and I do intermittent fasting. So I'm right there with you girls. This is pesche alla puttanesca. I'm Italian, which is basically puttanesca is just like it sounds. Putta is pork, and this is a pork sauce that they would make in Italy because it's very easy and quick to make. And this is a wahoo fish, grilled wahoo, and a puttanesca sauce. Delicious. Everything I make is very clean. I garden, and so I like to grow lots of beautiful things. And I'm a firm believer, and I tell people all the time, it's really, really important that you eat stuff that you're growing. Every day, eat something that you grow. It's good for your body. It's good for your health. It's fun to watch things grow. And also, the other thing I tell people is eat clean so you can drink a little dirty.
I'm with you there.
Yeah, right? Y'all get that. And so, but every now and then, even when you're if you're drinking, you want to give your liver a break. And so, something that I found is this stuff called Aplos, and it is a hemp-infused beverage. It's not alcohol, but it makes you feel kind of like you've had a glass of wine. It's not strong. It's very mellow. And this is a twist on like an Aperol. And when you go to Italy and they give you the orange Aperol spritz. So this is the twist on an Aperol spritz with a little bit of Aperol and Apelos. So yeah, good stuff.
Do you get that at Whole Foods, or where do you get that, or where do you?
No, I have. You know what? The Apelos you have to order from Apelos, Aplos. I haven't found it. I looked at I told people at the liquor store they should sell that because everybody is interested in giving their liver a break. It's like anything else. You don't want to overdo anything. too much of anything is bad. So, yeah, today is, my Apple's day.
So when it goes to that and the guy's looking good, so Mr. Hunter, talk about how you came on the Courtship and what you plan to do if you win.
Well, I don't even know how I ended up on the Courtship. Casting reached out to me through my social media channel handles, dan.hunter on Instagram. And I mean, if you know my background or you've seen my Instagram, I'm all about travel, all about adventure. Quick bio, I was raised on a sailboat for 7 years with my parents, and we traveled all around the world. So I thought this just sounded like a huge adventure. And I was looking for love. I'm 33 years old now, and was just looking for love. And I thought, what better way to perhaps meet the girl of my dreams than being on a show like The Courtship, where we get to go back to Regency England times and court a lady the way the ladies should be courted.
And you also have a travel agency too, don't you?
Yes. So that is my passion, Now or Never Trips. And that's where we organize trips for groups anywhere from 15 people to 50 people. We go all over the world. Some of our trips have been Bali, Thailand, Costa Rica, Mexico. And I just love getting amazing, like-minded people together. We do fitness, we do meditation and yoga. We also do a lot of partying. We like to pick a couple nights to give our livers a break. So that's Rachel. But yeah, it tries to incorporate everything that I'm about, which is just travel, connecting with great people, fitness, and also just exploring beautiful, exotic locations all over the world.
And Mr. Chapman,
Love it.
Yeah, so Dan and I we connected right away on just talking about travel. So it was a long process where it was one of those things where by the time I got the final word that, we're going to be going to the UK, my first time there, to shoot, it was like, oh gosh, I didn't even know this was really still on the table for me. Let's just, and 2 weeks later, I'm dressed in the full outfit. I'm in a castle, and it's just like, what's going on? It happened. It was a long period, and then like when the trigger was pulled, it's like, I'm here looking for my fiance. It's like, okay, we're here, and it was so quick when it actually kind of took off. But I've been in my van for 2 years, so it's going on the show, kind of looking for love. Call it, but. So it's so funny. People ask me why I did it. I think the honest answer is like a quarter life crisis. Partially, it was like, how do I find a way to like be present in moments? Well, that's like the pretty way to describe why I did it. But I really just kind of was gig chasing around the country. I was doing modeling work in different markets, and I just wanted an excuse and an easy way to like spend time experiencing life in different places just for short amounts of time. And like after the first year of it, it was like, this is so amazing. I'm traveling, but now like I'm looking over to my right, I'm seeing a pretty sunset. Like I'm driving through the mountains of Colorado, but no one's next to me. So the first year was like gig chasing and just like sightseeing. And the second year was like, now it's actually like the romantic in me was like, let's go through some small town in the van and either ride away with a girl and like storybook with that, or like stay in that town and then stop hopping town to town. And so I spent a year kind of gig chasing, but prioritizing like, let's find a girl in one of these stops. And so when the Courtship came up, it's like, okay, I won't be in the van anymore. But like, if what I'm trying to do is find a girl in the most romantic, adventurous way, why would I not go to a castle and try it? So it was a no-brainer. And then, add on top of that cameras, watching you and the whole reality aspect. It's kind of the coolest story ever. And going in, it's like, if I could tell my kids, this is how I, found their mom, then this is the coolest story. So, it was a no-brainer why I would do it.
Hey, let me jump in one last time real quick, because talking about Colorado, I got to talk about Nichlos, because this kind of fits into what you're talking about and being in shape and being that nomad, but also going cross country. Nichlos, talk about Moonbikes and how this would be interesting also.
Yeah, so a few words about Moonbikes and myself. So I'm a mountain lover and a tech lover, and I got the idea of Moonbikes like 6 years ago, something like that, when I realized I'm a former aerospace engineer, and I realized that during summer we have so many ways to move around in nature with bikes, e-bikes, but during winter we only have cars or snowmobiles, which are big, polluting, hard to drive, and very noisy. So I wanted to use my skills as an aerospace engineer to create an ultralight machine, 3 times lighter than a snowmobile, fully electric and silent, to be able to explore nature and explore snow environments during winter, and something easy to use, easy to ride, and easy to transport for anyone. Because snowmobiles were, for me, it was really dedicated to a specific kind of people. 88% of snowmobile users are male, and I wanted to make something way easier.
Lincoln, I see a use case for you.
Yeah,
very cool.
Yeah, let's talk. That's really cool.
Right
I
on
think
the
my van
van.
is missing something now.
yeah.
So
So,
let's go to the fitness aspect, because during CES, his Moonbike was one of the hottest things there, and it was such an honor to meet him. And again, it goes into eating clean, being healthy, fitness, the courtship, everything. And then, you know what? Why couldn't the Moonbike be a surprise, right?
Yeah. I'm not sure.
I know you're dying to ask something. Go ahead,
Sorry?
Rachel.
Rachel.
Oh, no, my question was back on Dan. When these groups that come together, can other people get into them? Are these groups already made? Like these people they come to you and they're like, okay, we got a group of 25, or can you get in on a group of people that are going somewhere?
Yeah, it's a little bit of both. So we have people who have come on the trips by themselves, and normally when someone comes by themselves, it's a magical experience, because they'll leave with like 20 or 30 new best friends that they can go visit all over the country and all over the world. And I love that aspect. But we've also done it for bachelor parties, bachelorette parties, wedding parties, where groups of 5, 10, 15, 20 people will all join together. I'll never forget when we had Bali 2 years ago, our last trip right before everything happened with pandemic. We had a Bali trip that was already full with about 40 people. And then a big group of friends from Burning Man wanted to book with about 20 people. So we had to split our Bali weekend into 2 different groups. But typically we have the dates on the website. We're about to put a bunch of dates on the website right now. There should be 4 upcoming in the next 6 months. And you can go on there and book. You look for the destination and the dates that work for your schedule. And whether you're by yourself or you're coming with 10 people, you're guaranteed to have an amazing, magical experience.
Oh, I know it is. I actually, I grew up organizing and performing group tours myself. It was my family business. My mom ran a company called Entropa, and it was, but all the cheerleaders, like the New York, the parades, and all the cheerleaders that would involve, like the NCAA cheerleaders, the UCA cheerleaders. That was my mom's company that would organize the performing group tours all over the world. So I grew up doing that stuff too, and getting dragged all over the world, and going on these great trips, and being in buses, and being with all these. But it was a little different. I think your trips are a little bit more exciting, because being with 2,000 cheerleaders on a trip.
That doesn't sound too bad either.
Well, Dan,
you'll find your wife on that maybe.
I was going to ask you, going from a travel agency in Los Angeles, going back into time as a Suitor, what is that like?
Oh man. Yeah, that was wild, because we were filming right when everything was still kind of locked down. So it was an amazing experience to just be outdoors again and be with groups of people again, and go on a date again. Like, it had been, 6 months since I had been on a date with a woman that I was just like falling for, interested in. And the other aspect was just being around people again. I lived in the Castle area with Mr. Chapman, with Lincoln, as well as 15 other guys. And that experience, honestly, like, even being with these guys for the same girl and hopefully love, you also develop some kind of camaraderie, because you guys are going through a lot of the same intense daily routines and positions. So I developed a really strong friendship with Lincoln and a lot of the guys on the show. So it was very surreal, but honestly, like Lincoln said, one of the coolest things I've ever done in my life. And I've been to over 100 countries all over the world. That experience has got to be in my top couple experiences of my life.
Vianka.
Yeah, it stands alone.
Do you keep in touch with everybody still, Dan?
Yes, yeah. So we are on our group chat where all of us keep in touch and keep each other updated. So it's been really, really amazing to be able to watch the show with guys all over the country and be able to act like we're still on the castle grounds, talking to each other, making fun of each other. It's been a really amazing experience for us all to keep that together. Charlie, who's on the show, he's visiting with me right now in LA. He's been staying with us for the last couple of weeks. We actually just got back from the gym together where Charlie ripped me on a major shoulder workout. So, I mean, types of friendships we formed, and I'm so grateful for that.
I'm so glad that you said that, Dan, because what you guys don't know is the entire reason the Guys Cottage was able to get protein bars was because Dan made sure that our Regency Era cottage was loaded with protein bars. And you guys can imagine the cottage of like 12, guys in 20s and 30s. We were stoked to see the protein bars. So, yeah.
I was on a keto.
There's a lot of that going on there.
I was doing a keto diet at the time. No longer on it right now, but I was doing a keto diet during the time. So, whenever they would bring us these snacks and these crackers and these candy bars, I was like, you guys, I can't do it. I need chicken, or I need vegetables, or I need these low carb, low sugar protein bars. And thankfully they kept us well fed no matter what our diet.
Speaking of the Regency time period, one of my favorite moments of the entire experience was after filming a day of Regency etiquette. I think we were doing we were eating outside, laying down. You guys saw in the boat scene, and everything around us besides the cameras is Regency. We're in the moment, in character. And then right when we stopped shooting for the day, underneath one of the picnic blankets was a protein bar that Dan had somehow gotten to set, or gotten to that area of the yard of the castle early and planted a protein bar. And the whole time we're there talking, we have no idea that we have 21st century food beneath us. It was a classic moment.
What you didn't know is I had 5 other protein bars squirreled away in 5 other locations because I didn't know where exactly we would be. But we had.
They're still looking for him in the castle. They're still finding him to this day.
Hey, Vianka, what do you think of Mr. Chapman and Mr. Hunter?
I think they're 2 interesting guys. Yeah.
I love that.
Fitness, which I'm into, which is great. That's what I'm hearing a lot. They're really personable and they're into fitness.
Well, talk about how you started in the fitness. How did that come about for you, and where you are now in modeling and being a fan?
Well, fitness has always been part of my life. I started from 4 or 5 years old, going into sports through school. I was into running a long meter, 4,000 meters, running relay. I did volleyball, basketball growing up. And then I got into yoga. And part-time, as I was doing modeling, I got approached by one of my own yoga teachers saying that, hey, you should try learning to be a yoga instructor. And I said, okay, I'll give it a shot. Started as a yoga instructor part-time as I was doing modeling. And just build up from there. Then from the yoga classes I started getting into fitness. People always, as I was modeling, people are always asking me, how do you stay in shape? What's your secret? What do you eat? What do you do? So I'm like, you know what? I should continue down this road and get certified, which I did in sports training, sports conditioning. And then here I am. And I still get asked, like, what do you eat? What do you do? So it just became a love. And some of the classes I was taking, there was a few celebrities, popping in and out because I would be traveling. Originally, I'm from Canada, guys. So I'll be traveling back to the States, and there'll be a few celebrity clients or their reps in some of these classes, and they're like, so and so saw you. They were like, if you could train them or not, and I would be like, okay, I'll try some. I'm up to it. I'll train them, and then this became like word of mouth, like who's this young trainer. And then that was it. It was just like word of mouth. Like, you should train with Vianka. And so my style is I incorporate yoga, Pilates, a little bit of fitness, full body workout you get with me. So I just don't concentrate on just, say, strength training, also conditioning your body, getting a little bit of cardio, getting a little bit of strength conditioning. And it's not the same monotonous thing every day. So if you want results, you know that you should train with me.
Mr. Chapman, talk about being that model and that nomad and Nicholas's bike, Moonbikes. What do you think about that and being a nomad? Oh, did we lose Mr. Chapman? We did.
Did we lose him? Yeah, we're having technical difficulties. It looks like he's coming back though. There he is.
There he is.
I'm back. Sorry, yeah, it just muted and I refreshed, and now I can hear you guys. Sorry about that.
I was saying, what do you think about being that model yourself, being that nomad, and then Nicholas's Moonbike? What do you think about being a nomad on that?
Yeah, number one, and the second, I was hearing about the Moonbikes. I think like my van looks a little bare now. Like I definitely could use something like that on the back. And Colorado is like my favorite place to stop and like stay for long periods of time. So yeah, you'll get some DMs from me, man, for sure. But as far as modeling goes, I'm really fortunate, and it's cool that they put that like as my occupation on the show. I mean, anyone who like is in the modeling business knows there's times like where you can be like, you are modeling and that is where all your income is coming from. But there's so many times, it's kind of why I started my nomadic life, where it was like, I have an audition in Denver, but I have a gig in Los Angeles.
You're hearing the wind, right? You're just hearing the wind when those peaks and valleys comes in.
Yes, nonstop, and you have to be patient with it. And you do develop tough skin, but it was part of. It was one of those things where it was like, I can't tell you how many times I like had like I said, like an audition in Denver, a gig in LA that I'm going to use that money to drive to Denver to do that gig or to audition for, because I don't know what doors are going to open and where things. That's been a big part of it. But I can't tell you how many times I've had to go on Craigslist and like help people move to get gas money to go audition for a modeling job that would pan out, and it's definitely scary, but it allowed me to travel. And like, I can't tell you, there's something freeing about traveling like to a job. People are going to think I'm crazy for this, but like knowing that like you're driving there to pick up your next paycheck, which is going to get you back to Los Angeles. It's kind of like I don't know, in my head, I romanticize it as like the golden boy American dream heading west, but it's sporadic. But it's cool that they did mention that, because I do consider myself a model, but I'm way more of a gig worker. I do model, but that's just one of the gigs that I do to stay afloat.
I got to share with you guys one story. When I first moved to Miami from Toronto, and again, I'm into fitness. That's what I do along with modeling. I really am a trainer and instructor. I came here up for a job. Everything is going great. And then I was almost booked for the job, and then they backed out of the job. And guess why, guys? Again, I wasn't relatable enough. I was too tall.
Yeah.
Too tall for modeling in Miami. I was Can you believe that? I was like, are you kidding me? That was I was in shock when I first came here in Miami. I was like, okay, this is a whole different ball game than what I was used to in, say, New York or in Toronto. I'm too tall for modeling. Like you saw my comm card, you saw all of the description of me, and I found that crazy.
Yeah.
It's kind of great. Well, I mean, just from kind of those experiences, I think you do get tough skin and you grow from it. Because I don't know, because I've always acted, I've done modeling, I've done fitness, and just kind of, there's different people on different calls will just say, oh, you're not right for this reason or that reason. Yeah. And you have no idea sometimes what they're looking for. I mean, I went on a audition for a fitness shoot. This is like, I don't know, 10 years ago. And the lady's like, well, your rib cage is too big. So, so you just have to like, not even like take it personally. You know what I mean?
Totally.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah. I mean, sometimes you have to have a thick skin, and you just can't, you have to keep going. You're going to get rejected. You're going to get jobs, and,
thick skin and big hair.
Yeah.
I like that.
I was invited to a black movie because Movie Reviews and More wasn't a black outlet. And this is a publicist that told me this was Paramount. And I'm looking at my hand because it was the days that they called you on the phone. I said, I may not be a black outlet, but then again, I'm never going to be defined by you or anybody else.
Mhm.
How Movie Reviews and More is relevant. It doesn't matter where you come from. It's about telling the story. And the reason why I like Nichlos and everybody else on here, everybody's got a story to tell, right, Nichlos? Nichlos, tell us about the story of why Moonbike was so successful at the CES show. And for anybody who doesn't know what CES means, Consumer Electronics Show, using technology, worldwide, fitness, fashion, sports, everything came out of that show. Nichlos, go for it.
Yeah, I don't. The question is why we are successful at CS. I think it's because it's a totally new machine. When I got the idea of Moonbikes, a lot of people told me, "Oh, I think it's impossible because otherwise big companies would have built this instead of you." So it seems very simple. And however, it wasn't so easy, and I spent 6 years building the company. So maybe this is why we got successful at CS. It's because it's simple. When you look at Moonbikes, you say, "Oh, yeah, of course, it should have been invented years ago." However, and it's simple, but it's a lot of fun, and it's everybody. I think it's easy for anyone, and it's linked to nature. It's linked to tech. And it seems very fun. So I think altogether we reach a very wide audience, and anyone. I think it's a machine for anyone. So I think this is the main reason why we are successful during CS.
Nichlos, Terri, what do you think about his Moonbike?
I would love to try it. You know, I love adventure. So.
Love to make you try.
Mm-hmm.
And Vianka, are you too tall to get on one?
Sorry, I couldn't hear you, Brian.
I said, are you too tall to get on one?
Are you too tall?
Yes. I do get that. I definitely get that. I'm usually only here in Miami. Miami has been the Wild West for me, guys. Here it's more, which I was so surprised, it's more accentuated. You know, if you're a little bit shorter, I'm 5'11" and a half. So I have found here, I've been too tall. I'm not too voluptuous. With the hour, they want a little bit more hips going on here in Miami. So I was a little surprised here, but I hold my own. I'm doing pretty good, but that was a shock for me. But yeah.
Well, you have to be your own personality and your own person and your own brand.
Yes, I definitely agree, Terri.
That's what makes you stand out. You know what I mean? Like, who wants to? I mean, it's boring if everybody looks the same. If everybody looks like
nobody wants to be the same. Actually, a lot of the times how I am booked is ambiguous. I check that box for a lot of the jobs or any casting that they're doing. I check the ambiguous box. So that's what I do.
Yeah, I'm kind of. I don't know. I'm a little bit older, so I'm just gonna say this but I really miss the models of the '90s. I think
Cindy Crawford,
Christy
Turlington.
Yeah, they all had their own style. Like now, everybody looks the same. There's like everybody's got a I don't know. Let's look like Kim Kardashian. I don't know. I don't get it. You know what I mean?
One thing that is really different, guys. I don't know. I think maybe Mr. Chapman can and Dan can roll in with this. More in the last few years when you're going for casting and for jobs, they're asking about your social handlings, where before it was about what jobs, what were you booked for, what is your portfolio. Now it's all about what's your numbers, how many platforms you are on. That is like number one. Then let's see what other jobs you have. It's the kind of like, oh, you did Ralph Lauren, oh, that's okay. Well, how many likes did you get? You know, what's your follower count on Instagram or even TikTok? So, which I can say, guys, I just hit 10,000 on my Instagram.
Oh,
So I'm happy
Congrats,
for that.
get
At
it.
The real Vianka Chung.
It's still going.
Because I did lose my account before. That's a whole other ball game. Long story, but I just hit 10,000.
Oh yeah, once you lose it, that's it.
Well,
right? That's it. You got to start all over.
And I just started.
Well, I got my TikTok hacked.
Oh wow.
And then some guy was like, he's like, oh, if you want your videos back, you need to send me some Bitcoin. I was like, I'm not sending you anything.
Oh, no.
And it was so frustrating. And Brian knows, because this is when I just gotten like into the creators fund on it. And I just got my 10,000 followers. And then this guy hacked me, and I was just like, oh God. Anyways, but I was able to get it back, and thank God I kept a lot of my videos, so I was able to re-upload them. But it was kind of a nightmare, because the guy's like, oh, well, I'll just hack you again. I'm like, no, you're not. So, but it's crazy.
And to start back too, again, it takes a momentum and everything, because I lost my account, and I had started to rebuild just in the last year, guys. And I took a little bit of a break because I lost my wind. You know what I mean? I built up before my last account was going almost to around 15 or so thousand. And now to start from zero to be disabled, I felt disabled.
Takes a lot of time.
Yeah. Well, this is one of the reasons why I tell everybody it's about the view. You can always unfollow, you can always unlike, you can always unsubscribe, but you can't unview a view. And I tell Terri all the time, you've got over 3 million views, Terri. What is bigger, followers or your views? Her views.
Makes sense.
Brian. So Mr. Chapman and Mr. Hunter, let's talk about Nicole real quick. So what is she like?
Oh man, where to start? She's one of the most independent girls I've ever met in my life, which is something I'm extremely drawn to. That's kind of, if I'm describing like what I'm looking for in a woman, I first look for someone who has their own thing going on, because the way my lifestyle is and the way I have gotten used to it being sporadic, when I'm not in one place and I'm maybe doing something for a couple of weeks or on location doing something, it's really comforting to know that like, if my woman, like she has her own like complete pursuit and passions, and like, she's got her thing going on, and like that's the most attractive thing to me, and that stood out night one. I mean, we were all like freaking, you can imagine night one in the ballroom, we're freaking out, we're sweating. She walked in so confident, looked all of us directly in the eyes, and like intimidated, I would say, most of the guys in that room. So her confidence and independence were just like undeniable. So yeah, she's a great girl.
And how do people reach out to you?
Where's your social media? Your social media.
Oh yes, my social, guys, is at Lincoln__Chapman. You'll see me on there. It's a lot of travel, a lot of sunsets and sunrises. That's my favorite thing in the world. So in case you guys don't want to just look out your own window and catch it for yourself, you can go online and look at the ones that I'm seeing. It's a lot of it, but also my dog's on there a lot. I travel around with my puppy Dakota, so a lot of traveling and a lot of I try to make just uplifting videos that hopefully motivate people to go out and do really simple things like catching sunsets or going for pretty drives.
Mr. Hunter, talk about Nicole.
From the moment she entered a room, Mr. Chapman and every other guy in that room could tell you she's breathtaking. Not just exterior beauty, but the way she carries herself, the way she can look into your eyes and give you a genuine compliment, the way that she can speak to a room. And I've always loved strong, independent, driven women. And that was something that just night one blew me away about her. Like, the second thing that I would say was really, really big for me, and that's why it was such an amazing idea that the producers for the Courtship brought the family in from day one, is I'm a mama daddy's boy. Like, my parents are the closest people to me in the world, hands down. And I saw from day one exactly how close she was with her parents and her sister and her best friend. And that just made me melt, because anytime I want to even consider getting serious with a girl, it's like, you come meet my parents. Let's see how we all vibe. And that's the biggest thing for me. My parents are the most important people. So seeing how close she was with her family just made me melt.
And your social media links.
Yes. So you can find me at dan.hunter. That's on Instagram. And then, on Twitter, Dan Hunter, Dan with 3 N's, Dan Hunter. But Instagram is where I do most of my posting these days at dan.hunter, spelled the regular way.
All right, Rachel, what would you make for Mr. Hunter? What would you make for Mr. Chapman? And what would you make for Nichlos with the Moonbikes?
Oh, that's a lot of cooking you got me doing.
That's a lot of cooking.
He makes a lot of food.
Yeah,
I don't have an oven most of the time.
This week I'm doing shrimp po' boys, and crawfish is really big here in Houston right now. Crawfish season, so something with crawfish, salmon.
I would do that.
You know me, I love to make salmon. I got to pull a salmon steaks.
Yes.
Does that sound good, guys?
Oh my God. You have me crawfish and salmon.
That sounds perfect. Yep.
And for Nichlos.
So find me on Rachel Roberts recipes on all the social media platforms. Trying to make it big over there.
And what would you make for Nichlos with his Moonbike?
Oh man, I want to get Cooper one. How much are they? Sign me up. Very cool.
All right, Nichlos.
Yeah. Can kids ride on it?
Sorry, I didn't hear.
They have ones for kids.
Oh yeah.
Do they have
Not for now. Not for now, but it's one of the ideas for the future.
Wow.
Man, that is cool.
Those are insane. Yeah, there's so
Nichlos, we got a couple minutes left. Nichlos, where are you going with the Moonbikes now? What's been happening since January?
Now we have an amazing team of almost 30 people, almost 20 in France and 10 in the US. And we sold 400, a little bit less than 400 bikes. So it's amazing. We are so excited. Our customers are happy, and that's the most important thing. All of our customers are really happy. We are in more than 15 countries now. So that's very exciting because 18 months ago, we were only 2 in the company. So going from 2 to 30 in 18 months, in 18 months, it's amazing. And the most important thing is the reaction of the public and the customers. To see the smile, Moonbikes is really a smiling machine, and that's really important for us. It's really an experience-based machine, and I love seeing that from the prototypes that I built in my kitchen to the 400 bike that's over the US and the world, and with happy customers. I'm really excited, and I'm really proud of my team.
Congratulations on that. So once again, how do people reach out to you?
Sorry?
How do people reach out to you?
So from Instagram, Moonbikes Motors, or via our website, moonbikes.com.
So, Mr. Chapman, if you win, what are you going to do?
Well, I'll say first and foremost, and you guys will see it. I never ever expected going into it for Nicole to uproot her life and to move into a van with me. I have to tell it that's unexpected. That doesn't seem like a fair trade at all. Especially not when we meet in the castle. It doesn't seem right. To leave a castle and go to a van. That's you'll have to tune in and see where things at the moment, but just know that was never a thing. It was never gonna be, Nicole, let's leave this castle and hop into a van.
Take it or leave it. Van time. Let's go.
And before you leave, what's one of your favorite movies? One of your favorite movies?
My favorite, was that for Dan or for me? Oh gosh,
For you.
one of my favorite
For you.
movies. You know, any Hugh Grant movie. Let's go with something fun. Notting Hill. Can I say that?
Yeah. Okay.
We're talking. You guys have no idea the amount of Hugh Grant movies that I watched going to the UK. I don't know why in my head I had it like I was like I have to study this man Hugh Grant because that's how you speak to women when in the UK. So big Hugh Grant phase.
Okay, Mr. Hunter, what would happen if you win? What do you do with Nicole?
I'm a nomad, so I am always down to live anywhere in the world. You give me the right work opportunity or the right girl, I'm there. So yeah, I made it very clear to Nicole and her family, the world is wherever I want to live. So I'm open to anything. And, I think a honeymoon around the world is definitely on my agenda whenever I do get married.
And what's a good film that you does? And
I'm sorry?
favorite movie?
Oh, favorite movie. I'd have to say The Big Lebowski, an old classic, old classic for me. And then if we're just talking about good action comedy, I love Bad Boys 2.
Okay, Bianca, what would you say? You need people to reach out to you. They want to train yoga. What do you say to get them?
Sorry, say it again then, Brian. I didn't hear you.
Hire you. What do you say to get those future clients to hire you? You could train them.
If you want to train with the best, if you want to get real results and someone that is going to motivate you along the way, come to At The Real of Vianka Chung.
And a favorite film if you have one.
Oh, definitely. I'm a James Bond big fan. I would have to say Goldfinger.
Oh, I love that movie.
Goldfinger.
I love that movie.
You know, I've always seen myself as one of the Bond girls too. So I think that's been my thing since I was a child. So yeah, Goldfinger.
I can see it for sure.
You can see it, right? You can see me doing a Bond film, right?
I can, absolutely. So it's one of those things where it comes to be very interesting. And I say this, Nichlos, congratulations for what you're doing. I think I'm going to be able to get one of those Moonbikes by the end of the summer. Got to have you back on because I want to see what happens with them. And congratulations with everything. Bianca, I don't know when we're going to schedule a trip to Miami, but talking to Miami, so I know we got to go.
There
So
we
that's one thing. And I don't care how tall you are, you look fine to me.
Thank you, Brian.
Rachel, I think you better get ready to cook the guys something because I have a feeling we're going to see Mr. Chapman pretty soon in Franklin, but we never know. And Mr. Chapman, out of Nashville, Tennessee, look for us coming there because if you're around, we'd love to have you come to our platform. And Dan, you're here in Los Angeles, so hopefully we'll run into you soon. Terri, you know I adore you. Roxy, you know I adore you.
Yeah.
So I want to say this to everybody. Have a good night tonight. A better day tomorrow. If you see someone without a smile, please give them one of yours because the world needs it. And don't forget to watch The Courtship on NBC. No matter what, I'm Brian Sebastian with Movie Briefings More, and we will see you next week.